Let's talk about something most men are too afraid to say out loud. The modern relationship dynamic is destroying men emotionally, mentally, and spiritually. And most don't even realize it until they are standing in the mirror staring at a version of themselves they don't recognize anymore. You are not lazy, you are not weak, you are not broken. You are just living in a system designed to drain men. One where emotional abuse is dismissed, boundaries are mocked, and masculinity is shamed. This episode is going to be the most brutally honest one I've done yet because I'm tired of watching good men, hardworking, loyal, committed men lose themselves trying to love a woman who's addicted to control. If you have ever found yourself walking on eggshells in your own home, apologizing for things you didn't do, or feeling like no matter what you say, it's never enough, this one's for you. Let's get into the truth.
Welcome to the Narc Free Man Podcast.
Welcome back to the Narc Free Man Podcast. I'm your host, Phillip Dugas. Here's the brutal reality. Men are silently drowning in relationships where they are constantly manipulated, guilt-tripped, and emotionally controlled. But society won't let them say that because the moment a man says, "I'm being emotionally abused," he's told he's exaggerating, overreacting, or he needs to man up. Let me tell you something. What's breaking men today isn't physical pain, it's psychological warfare. Female narcissists don't need fists to destroy a man. They do it with silence, sarcasm, and selective affection. They weaponize empathy. They condition you to chase their approval. They twist your reality until you doubt your own memory. And by the time you wake up to what's happening, you are not the same man anymore. You are anxious. You are isolated. You are tired. You have built success in every other area of your life. Maybe your business and your fitness, finances, but in your relationship, you feel powerless. That's not by accident, it's by design. Let's break this down so you can see the pattern clearly. When a female narcissist meets you, she studies you. She mirrors your dreams, your morals, your humor, your goals, until she becomes your ideal woman. That's the love bombing stage. She showers you with attention, affection, validation, everything you've ever wanted to feel as a man. But it's not love, it's bait. Once she hooks you emotionally, the real game begins. She starts testing you with small jabs, subtle criticisms, pulling back affection, creating confusion. And every time you react, she learns your triggers. This is where most men lose themselves. You start explaining, defending, justifying. You start overthinking every text, every tone, every look. You begin living in a constant state of anxiety, hoping the sweet version of her comes back. But that version never existed. It was the mask. And here's the hardest part. She will reward and punish you on a loop. When you comply, she's loving. When you resist, she's cold or cruel. That cycle, love, withdrawal, confusion, it literally rewires your brain so you get addicted to her approval. You start chasing the dopamine hit of her affection. And that's how trauma bonds form. That's how good men end up stuck. Not because they are weak, but because they have been conditioned to mistake chaos for love. Every man in this position says the same thing. I know she's toxic, but I can't walk away. Brother, that's not love, that's psychological conditioning. You were raised to fix things, to be the protector, the provider, the peacemaker. So when the relationship breaks, your instinct isn't to leave, it's to repair. But you can't fix someone whose identity depends on dysfunction. You can't love a narcissistic woman into accountability. And here's the painful truth. She doesn't want peace. She wants control. She doesn't want love. She wants power. Your calmness threatens her ego, and your silence exposes her manipulation. So every time you start to heal, she'll reappear with guilt, nostalgia, or fake affection just to pull you back into her emotional web. That's not reconciliation. That's reconditioning. You need to understand that female narcissists' greatest fear isn't being alone, it's being irrelevant. The moment you detach emotionally, she feels powerless. That's when the smear campaigns start, the victim act, the guilt trips. But that's also the moment you start to wake up. Let's zoom out. This isn't about one relationship. This is about the culture that enables it. Masculinity has been demonized. Men are told that leadership is control, that boundaries are toxic, and that strength is oppressive. So men stop leading. They become apologetic, passive, and emotionally available to the wrong woman. And here's what happens. When a strong man suppresses his masculine edge, he becomes the perfect target for manipulation, because now you are trying to lead with empathy in a relationship built on power. A narcissistic woman thrives when a man loses his edge. She doesn't want equality, she wants submission. And modern society cheers her on. It calls her strong, independent, and empowered, while calling him toxic, controlling, or emotionally unavailable. But here's the truth. Real masculinity isn't dominance, it's direction. It's not controlling her, it's controlling yourself. And the moment you rebuild that internal strength, her manipulation loses its grip. If you are still listening, it means you are done being drained. You are ready to rebuild. So here's how you start. Number one, the first thing you do is have radical acceptance. Stop waiting for her to apologize. She won't. Closure doesn't come from her words. It comes from your decision to stop chasing validation. The second thing is emotional detachment. The most powerful thing you can say to a narcissistic woman isn't, "I hate you," it's, "You don't affect me anymore." When you stop reacting, she loses her supply. The third thing you do is rebuild discipline and routine. Healing isn't emotional, it's structural. So rebuild your mornings, get some sunlight, train in the gym, write gratitude texts daily to someone that you care about. And the next thing I strongly recommend is to find a tribe. You can't heal in isolation. Men need other men who have lived it, who have been through it. And men heal faster when they realize they are not alone. Brother, listen. The woman you lost yourself trying to please, she was never your peace. She was your lesson. And that lesson is this: you don't need her to find your worth again. You just need truth, time, and discipline. You can't fix her, but you can fix the parts of you that allowed her chaos to feel like home. That's what this movement is about. Reclaiming your mind, your masculinity, and your mission and purpose. So take a breath. You are not crazy. You are waking up. And the moment you stop trying to make her understand you and start understanding yourself, that's when the healing begins. So thanks for listening to this episode. If you're listening to this on Apple Podcasts or Spotify, it would be great if you can leave me a rating and a review. Or if you're watching this on YouTube, make sure to subscribe to my channel and leave a comment below. Until next time, stay strong, stay steady, and stay narc free.